one of the first questions I usually get on forums, out at car meets, YouTube videos that get posted is why. That's the kicker. It's just they see it, they hear the horsepower numbers, they get an idea on everything that's been put into it thus far, and they just say, why? The short answer is why not, but there's a little bit of a background to it. When I first moved to the Lehigh Valley, I was a heavy equipment operator, and I had a 2000 Impreza RS Coupe, my little GC8, and it was not suited very well for running around on muddy job sites. I wanted a WRX very badly, and my wife said, you will destroy a WRX on a job site just like you would your RS. I had to have a turbo Subaru, and I thought my options were Forester or Outback Turbo. My salesman, Will Trask, who's still a very dear friend, told me that there's such a thing as a Baja Turbo. Never heard of it before. I knew about the ugly yellow Bajas that I'd seen running around, but I was like, they put the WRX driveline in one of those? Tell me more. They had an Auto Tragic one on the lot. I drove it. I figured if I could get one with a 5-speed, it might work for me. And that's how we started. It was by far the fastest car, truck thing I've ever owned in my life, but I wanted it to be at least as fast as a WRX. Fast forward a little bit, I got involved with the Tri-State Tuners TST internet community. Met some really cool people. The guy behind the camera, one of them, and my friend Donald Harrer told me about this shop called Area 1320, and the owner, Ryan Gary, who can pretty much do anything with a Subaru that you want. And boy, did I have a tall order. I met him at Applebee's one night. I had gone to a shop up in Connecticut and had an open source tune put on this, and I was really, really unhappy with it. It would throw codes, the fuel economy was in the toilet, and I met Ryan. He got behind the wheel, agreed to drive it, drove it for about 5 minutes, and he said, yeah, that ain't right. And that was the beginning of the love-hate relationship that Ryan has with the Baja From Hell. Over the years, I bought it new in 2006. We're in 2014 now. He has put a motor in it. The trans has been done twice. One of them was a broken PPG gearbox input shaft. The gearbox that nobody can break. Yeah, I broke one. God, there's so much to list. If I ramble and go back and forth in time, please forgive me. It started out where we put an STI VF39 on it, and an STI intercooler, and a off-the-shelf catback. That was good for a while. It was quick, but I found out very, very quickly that putting an STI component on a vehicle that weighs a little bit more than an STI does not make it as fast as an STI. So turbos have been the VF39, an FP68 HTA, Right now there's a Deadbolt 18G XT that was rebuilt by Mike at Blauk. External wastegate, custom up pipe, because this thing has a habit of breaking up pipes. Custom side exit exhaust that Ryan made just because. You know, there's a lot of handmade components on here that Ryan just threw together specifically because there's nothing truly vehicle specific for the Baja. It's an afterthought in the Subaru performance scene, because, you know, what kind of idiot would take a Subaru Baja and try and get it over the 300 wheel horsepower mark and then shoot for 4, and who knows where it's going to go next, but it's a lot of fun. Biggest drawbacks and problems that I've had with the Baja and the tune and the ECU, it's nothing to do with the tuner, it's just this particular vehicle. It likes to knock at high RPM, and if I didn't have such a heavy foot and loved the wastegate, I wouldn't have that problem. Or if I would have gone with a bigger turbo or a rotated setup. I like my spool. And if you've seen any of the other videos, you know how quick this thing hits boost. The most unique thing system-wise, I would say, on the Baja right now is the air-to-water intercooler setup. Ryan jokingly said a year or so ago, you know, if this thing keeps knocking on you, we're just going to have to go air-to-water. I had never heard of an air-to-water intercooler setup before, but I went online and looked it up a little bit. And there's a company called Votion Speed. They've got modular kits, and I decided, what the hell, I'm going to order one and get it installed. If you see the heat exchanger or the top mount, there's no fins on that core. That's a water jacket. The actual heat exchanger is a front mount. Right down in the bumper there, there's 2 slimline fans behind that. So as soon as I hit the accessory power on, a water pump in the driver's side fender starts pumping water out of the heat exchanger, up into the core, out of the core, into this ice box. It holds 3 gallons of additional coolant. I can take this cap off and throw ice in the summer. This setup will actually let me get colder than ambient air inlet, or IATs, inlet air temperatures, in the summertime if I throw ice in that box. So I can rip around for a little while in the summertime, and the car's thinking it's, you know, fall, October, nice cool air. Yeah, it's just one of those things. The Baja is different, and the more different we can make it at this point, the better.